I want to talk about how that silence is broken. There was always something in the back of my mind that told me life is not right. The anger that I was feeling, the bitterness, outright hatred, the confusion, a lot of anger. Anger that was targeted to my parents, whom I was supposed to love. Why the hell did they let me go to someplace like that? Why did they do that? I was very angry at that. Very angry at the man who did this. Very bitter against the government. I hated the churches. And by God, I was mad at him too. And it showed in my life. It showed in my relationships. It showed in my family. It showed everywhere. Yeah, I'm a nice, cheerful guy. Yes, all right. But at the same time, all what I described was eating at me. Eating away. So one day, 21 years ago to almost to the day, I'm sitting in a restaurant in Ottawa, Ontario, downtown hotel. Had my coffee, my breakfast, and my Globe and Mail newspaper. The headline, something in regards to prominent Native leader discloses abuse in residential school. The national newspaper with that headline grabbed my attention in a way my attention had never been grabbed before. I read the paper, read the story, and all of a sudden I'm feeling that little boy who used to go to school on these grounds and what happened. The physical and the sexual abuse that happened. Not to mention the cultural, mental, psychological abuse that happened. But particularly the sexual and the physical abuse that happened on these very, very grounds. All came rushing over me. In a way that was unmanageable for my emotions. And I'm sitting there with my colleague and my friend at the breakfast table. And I began to sob uncontrollably. And I looked at my friend. I asked him if he had read the article that I had just finished reading. He said yes, he acknowledged it. And I remember asking him, he had ever been abused in residential school. To which he said no. And somewhere within my unhealthy being, I found the strength to say to him, I was abused sexually. And that was the first time that I had ever told anybody in a way that I was of a sound mind. I was sober. I was hungover, but I was sober. I was able to find the strength to say, yes, I was abused. So that was in 1990, October 1990. That was the turning point of my life in terms of dealing with the negative effects of the Indian residential school legacy.